All right, guys. We are into Neon Violet Square for BYUN versus ASTREA. This is going to be interesting. I have not seen a lot of pro games on this map. ASTREA's just come back from Thanksgiving. So he was off with family or something like that. Now he's off with, I don't know where he was actually. I don't know. He was off at events. He said he hasn't played in a week. I got a bit confused. I think he's back in San Diego now. But I think he was off somewhere else in the States, you know, doing some Thanksgiving family celebration stuff. And he's back, hasn't played. And he kind of said that to me before this series like an excuse. Like, oh, it's my first game in a week. Kind of like he was saying don't expect much. Now, in my experience, guys, when a pro gamer stops expecting something of themselves, that's when they play the best StarCraft they've ever played. It's always when a pro gamer is like, no, oh, you know, I'm the best I've ever played. I'm feeling confident. I'm feeling good. That's always when a pro player gets like killed by some dumb cheese and tilts and does some really dumb stuff in the next game. When a guy comes out and he's like, I haven't played in 2 weeks. I don't know what I'm doing. That's always when StarCraft players are the most relaxed. They roll with the punches better. They make less silly mistakes. Like, yeah, they might be a little less tight on their build, but they're less annoyed. They're less tilted at like, oh, I got supply blocked. They go, oh, I got supply blocked, you know. It's like most, I always talk about how like Dark, Hero have this sort of ability to just not get tilted and just roll with whatever's happening. Other players only get that when they suddenly have low expectations of themselves. Speaking of low expectations, guys, BYUN just took a third command center in the very back. What a surprise. Into 2 barracks into Engineering Bay. This is my least favorite version of his 3cc build. I think it's especially bad on this version of the patch. This should be a free win for ASTREA if he plays things perfectly. Now, obviously, no one plays perfectly, but I just look at this. It's like, you know, ASTREA is going to go hallucination every game. This build has no offensive capabilities at all. ASTREA's already got his own quick third up, which means he's in the perfect position to take advantage of this. I think BYUN's build sucks. And, you know, yeah, he gets 4 mineral patches, half a base of minerals in the back. Minerals is way more important than gas. And I think it's going to be ASTREA who secures a 4th base much earlier. Now, we'll see what ASTREA actually does to take care of it. I don't want to say, oh, it's over, because I've seen BYUN take build order disadvantages all the time. But I definitely feel like this build order, it's just not great. You know, he's been doing it recently. When he does 3cc into 3 racks, there's something for the Protoss to worry about. There's like 5.5, 6 minutes, a massive Marine Marauder army with stim and shields on your doorstep. With this build, that just doesn't happen. There's no move out timing until medevacs are on the field. So for ASTREA, you just need to make sure you don't miss probes. Early Forge is a great idea. Early Double Forge, even better. And he's already got a 4th Nexus as well, so he's going to play Mass Zealot. Oh, Reaper's going to see it. And BYUN is going to go, I really wish I could punish that. If only I had a 3rd barracks. Sorry, guys, I'll stop ranting. It's not the worst build order if the Protoss doesn't scout it. But because the Protoss has scouted it, ASTREA's like, you just have no offensive capability. I can go Double Forge, 4th Nexus, make 70 probes, and I'm just going to destroy you. I ask people in chat to please answer the dumb basic questions that I get in chat 400 times a day. And now we've got people take it to the extreme level where someone said Double Forge ? And the Chad, Hippo's Astro Boy says, Double Forge means 2 forges. Thank you, Hippo, for clarifying that point. Save me from having to answer that very, very necessary explanation. There's like one person who's not a native English speaker who actually doesn't know what double means, and they're probably like, oh, that's really helpful, but yeah, for everyone else, probably not so much. Going up to 5 racks, Hallucinated Phoenix sees that the starport swapping over, which tells you as ASTREA, okay, about 6.5 minutes is when these drops could start arriving, right? Because 30 seconds to build medevacs, and then he could start boosting across the map. You want to have charge done by then, and hopefully 1-1 as well. So he's chronoing his charge, realizing that's a full 80 seconds away. And he's going up to 9 gateways. So 9 gateways, 4 base. Obviously, 3.5 in terms of minerals, but still pretty damn good. Darn good. If he wants to maintain his advantage, ASTREA needs a 5th base pretty early as well. That of course, is easier said than done. 3 Stalkers at the front. Going to run away through the Cyber Forest, as I like to call it. Some call it the Skibbity Club over here. It's where the Zoomers hang out. Stalker's going to pick off a Marine before trying to run away. Yeah, good blink backs, gets himself a bit more damage. Not able to bait a stim though, which is what he was really looking for there. Double drop's going to move out to the left, and Stalker should see it, but oh, BYUN quickly doubles back. Avoids the Stalker from spotting it, and you can see just how open this main is to getting dropped. These 3 gateways, only 1 pylon on them. These 5 gateways, only 1 pylon, guys. So we've got Artosis over here, Tasteless over here, now separated by the Pacific Ocean and no longer being able to support each other. Luckily for ASTREA, does see the drop coming. Yeah, he loses a Stalker, but it's worth it to keep his opponent back. Double Robo Bay coming in. That means he doesn't have the gas for 2-2, though. You can see, bit hard to measure your exact amount of gas you need with these sorts of builds. ASTREA does need a 5th gas. I mean, don't get me wrong, 9-gate Zealot's going to chew through your minerals pretty quickly. But another Stalker does go down. He's got Zealots coming forward. He's looking to jump on part of this army. Wow, this is going to get messy real fast. Sentry in that top right of our screen with a bunch of Zealots jumping on top of Marauders, but you can't be fighting with melee units in the Cyber Forest. Get out of there, ASTREA. Good job. Gets himself a few Marines and Marauders. Chases this side as well. As the charges activate, you can see those Zealots get some good damage. Units lost tab in ASTREA's favor quite massively. And pinned on 2.5 mineral bases. This is where this build gets really bad as well on this map. Excuse me. If you can't get a 4th base, you're in the doo-doo. He's going to go Ghost Academy. ASTREA has that 5th Nexus coming in the middle base. He does have 2-2 on the way. His Robo Base 2nd Robo's done, but he doesn't have the gas for Colossus. And that's what I've been talking about with his build order. Oh, BYUN's 4th Command Center gets killed. That was not even a cancel. That is a huge mistake. Remember, guys, BYUN, I just played him in the previous round. He did 2-0 me, but he looked a bit shaky. He walked into a lot of stasis traps. I was actually trading better than him for like 8 minutes of a PvT, which should never happen. I thought I'd die in the first 4 minutes. ASTREA coming back, looking loose after a lot of pumpkin pie, a lot of turducken in his belly, and you know, just having a good time. If anything I know about American culture is he's 7 kilograms heavier. That's about 15 pounds, and he also has a bonus MMR to go with that extra weight gain. Zealot's going to pick up, try and rotate there, see if he can get back out. Dude, another cancel on the 4th. This is so good. These are great trades for ASTREA, who, remember, the more he's trading, the better it is. I don't know about this Zealot warp in. As long as he kills a lot of SCVs, it's fine. Dude, BYUN, you need to stop fighting with those SCVs. Every SCV that goes down is pretty big. Oh, this is amazing trading because he wants to just keep BYUN small. ASTREA really wants to keep BYUN small. BYUN's going to push out the left. What the heck? No medevacs. Get home, mate. BYUN's in chaos. ASTREA's kind of running circles around him. There is another Widow Mine over there. Looks like the Vikings are finally going to clean this up with the Zealots. So many worker kills, and I thought the SCVs would run away and not take damage, but BYUN just leaves himself open, and honestly, I think he's just, yeah, I'm surprised he's rebuilding SCVs. I thought he was just going to pull the boys and go for a 2-2 all-in. First Colossus is out, 2 more coming, extended Thermal Lance as well. +3 attack starts, no +3 armor just yet. So BYUN's going to be able to tie up the workers, tie up the upgrades. No SCV pull, which I guess is good because he's up against Mass Colossus and Zealots. And the Zealots are going to spot this army coming. ASTREA's got 3 more gateways coming, trying to get to 12 gates. 76 probes to 53. I did mention this is a bad build order at the start of this game. I am not surprised by the way this has gone. Extreme Greed, with no fear of any early timings, just goes completely unmatched. And ASTREA finds himself in a great position. Now, Pylons have great sight vision. Remember, that's one of the things that has been buffed, I believe, twice. I think Pylon's got an extra vision on 2 different patches, if memory serves. Despite that, he doesn't notice it. ASTREA's going to look to Sanger the right side. He needs to crush this fight on the right. We watched Clem play some amazing Protoss games recently, and he just refused to pull back whenever he got dropped like this and just shut down whatever army was on the map. And it seems like ASTREA's going to have a similar mentality. Few Zealots are going back into the main. He's already lost 3 gateways. He's about to lose another Artosis pylon there. Oh my gosh. He's going to have to recall in that main, but he doesn't have any recall energy. Still chasing down the bio in the middle of the map. This feels like ASTREA may have made a huge mistake here. Almost all of his production's gone. Zealot's going to try to jump on top. There's no way. There's no way to fight that. He's going to lose his +3 attack as well. BYUN taking a 4th command center, 3-3 upgrades on the way behind this. Dude, it's a disaster, mate. He's going to now recall. He's got 4 Colossus. ASTREA has a much better army in terms of quality and size, but the value of production that's getting taken out here, as well as that main Nexus, is massive. I don't think this will win the game for BYUN, but it's definitely putting him back in a playable position where he can transition. Does lose 1 full medevac, 3 of them get out of there. And whenever there's medevacs in this area, it's such a problem. If he can clear up these pylons on his way out, get 2 or 3 pylons, then go home, BYUN has done a massive amount of damage. Remember, ASTREA was trading way better than BYUN early game, but that main base does get exposed. He's rebuilding his Ring of Vision, observers, pylons, all that stuff. If he can catch these drops, that would be massive. ASTREA's main base, though, is wide open. Zealot sees the drop, and BYUN's going to know to run away. Dropping here would be a crazy person's decision. You'd have to be literally insane to do it. Okay, thankfully BYUN does get back one of his sanity cards that I was thinking about taking away for a second. Dude, I like the city down here, Neon Violet Square. We've got like a little Zeppelin down there with some, looks like some advertisements on the side of it. Can you imagine that, guys? In the future, there's going to be drones driving past your window holding up ads. They're like, come and buy Gary's Burgers. Special buy one, get one free deal. And you're just like, oh my God, Gary, get out of here blocking my view with your aggressive advertising. So the people in these buildings are thinking right now. Widow mine's over there. 4th command center's halfway done. Main base, mostly mined out. Back base, getting down to 2 patches. Natural getting down as well. This 4th base, though, is going to keep BYUN's income good enough. He's going to be able to max out, and he will actually have an upgrade advantage because the Double Forge has to be rebuilt from scratch for ASTREA. So ASTREA, for now, has to accept, okay, I've been ahead on upgrades all game. Now I'm behind on upgrades. I have 5 Colossus, though. Let's build Disruptors. And he's also got, is that 9 Stalkers in the main? It's only 8. Not enough. Well, with +2, I think that's enough to one-shot a Medevac. And he's got Zealots there as well to kill the unloading units. Oh, here we go, guys. Probes getting hit from the high ground. Big balls! Does hit 3 Marauders, only one of which dies, but the other ones will die soon after to the Zealots. Immortal comes forward, takes an Immortal to the chin, does not care about it because Barry is that good. Medevac gets sniped, as does a Viking by the Stalker Chase. Widowmine's going to put a bit of pain on ASTREA, but I think ASTREA's okay with that. Loses a sentry. Oh, the EMP landed just before the splash damage, which is why that sentry died. Observer sees this army on the left as well. ASTREA's very ready to deal with those. If they come in, he will deal with it. If they try to run away... Oh, look at this. He's ready. He's ready. He's ready. BYUN scans and quickly realizes it's not a good idea. Now, if BYUN can secure a 5th base, he could play a longer game. It's a good map for more of a swarmy army, though. He desperately needs more Vikings, and he's only just now started the 2nd starport. That's a big problem. He could get up to 8, maybe 10, maybe 12 Vikings. He could get rid of these Colossus, but until then, that's a problem. +1 shield starts. We need +3 attack and +3 armor as well. ASTREA skimping on his upgrades a little. Random Immortal does get caught there. Stalkers catch a full Medevac. 1 full Medevac gets out of there, but the rest of the army should be ready to deal with this, especially with recall available. ICMP's coming across. Stalkers, Zealot, Colossus doing what they can. As long as the Stalkers focus fire the Vikings, especially with that Disruptor shot landing all over him. I can't believe BYUN stood his ground and fought there. It was only a section of his army, and he just took a madman's engagement, and massive losses are his punishment for that. Zealots come in. Planetary defends him on the bottom left. In the main base, ASTREA's taking a bit of damage here as well. But you cannot go past just how big those frontal engagements were. Remember, he was almost 3,000 resources ahead. Now only 275 resources ahead as BYUN. And a warp in of Stalkers or Zealots could deal with this. Zealots would probably be optimal against a 3 Marauder, 1 Marine drop. So I think there's 2 Marines in there. Gonna go for 5 Stalkers so we can try to blink on it. And Marauders do get unloaded. Stalkers gonna split fire. No. They don't split fire, so they take an extra volley or 2 to take out those Marauders. 2 Marines and a Marauder up here as well. 17 probes for a single dropship is crazy. But ASTREA will not pull back, I don't think. Oh, actually, it's a lot of Vikings. Colossus falling. There's still 4 left. A few of the Vikings did go down. Colossus picking off units. 2 observers providing great vision. And with Mass Stalker Disruptor warping in, gets the Medevac on the way home. BYUN has a 50 army supply deficit. Almost brought this game back with that drop in the main. But at the end of the day, BYUN just put himself in such a hole with this early build order choice. And in the energy recharge meta, you're not going to be able to get away with builds like this ever. You cannot just turtle against Protoss. For those who don't know, Protoss is the most effective economic race. And even though, yes, he manages to beat through him, he loses another 19 workers. What I mean by the most economic race, let me clarify that point. There are max out challenges people do to see, hey, who can max out the fastest possible. Like, there's no opponent or anything like that. It's purely who can find the greediest build order and most optimal way of macroing up. And they kind of time it. And it's always Protoss who's winning. Just due to the nature of chrono boosting probes, it just is the quickest way of like rushing workers out. For Zerg, they've got to wait to get spawning pool, then start building queens, then start injecting. So there's such a big delay on that happening. And if you don't have to worry about any defensive structures, as a Protoss, you're just like, oh, cool. You know, I can literally just build like 5 Nexus and hold the probe key down. So, yeah. It might be Zerg now, though, because of the buff? Question mark? What buff are you guys talking about? 25 minerals off a hatchery? Probably helps them a little bit, but their queens are still very expensive. Protoss is pretty significantly ahead in those holdout challenges. I don't think Zerg or Terran stands a chance. It doesn't mean Protoss is the best race. It means if nothing's happening in terms of fighting, Protoss will be the quickest to ramp up, that's all. Disruptor's getting some good shots, but he's on the front line exposed due to ASTREA. Don't throw this game. He's thrown this game, hasn't he? Oh my lord. Dude, he just lost all of his disruptors. He's down in army supply. Oh my god. Dude, sorry guys. I should have kept talking about the game. I was like, this could be one of those times where ASTREA throws and BYUN gets back in the game. But I was like, that's not going to happen. Like, BYUN has no mining. He's literally got mules dropping here, keeping his income just barely alive. And yep, ASTREA is actually dead now because he doesn't have enough income. He's only on 65 workers. He's traded 6,000 resources worse in the last few minutes. Bad commentary from me to not even mention it. I thought in the midst of it, there's no way you come back from those numbers. But turns out anytime you stand and fight with Protoss rather than stutter stepping in and out and doing the Warp Prism in the main and doing the DTs on the sides and chipping away with the disruptors, you do give the opportunity for Terran to just trade obscenely well. And I guess it should have been more of a slow wearing down, forcing the overstims, picking units off and doing that stuff that MaxPax does so well. But he's going to need massive disruptors to win this game, and he just doesn't have it. Being down double upgrades this whole time as well. Took him way too long to remember to make 3-3. He started making plasma shields, then cancelled it. Finally started making 3-3, but BYUN's been able to just trade so well before that happened. And with no disruptors in the mix, ASTREA is in struggle town right now. Yeah, it was the big fight when he tried to bust up this ramp into the third, guys. That was what went really bad. And then the next fight over here with those disruptors, he just didn't have enough zealots in front by the looks of it. Archons are useless. There's too many EMPs coming in. You can see the Archons just disappear. The shield's gone off everything. Whilst the Stalker Immortal getting overrun. Absolutely brutal. So yeah, from up 50-60 supply in army to losing. Unfortunately, what happened here is ASTREA made a mass Stalker army. He made 38 Stalkers, which are really bad fighting units, and he tried to attack through a choke point. Stalkers can be good with disruptors. The way Harston plays this army is he plays mass disruptor Stalker. And it's all about spamming disruptor shots out. And then if the Terran backs away too much, you like blink, you kill the planetary, and you run away. But this whole series of engagements here was actually really bad. Just because the Stalkers just don't add that much. And once the Colossus are gone, it's basically a pure Stalker army. And Stalkers are just a Garbo unit. They're good for meshing with disruptors, but in this scenario, they sucked. All right, guys, we've got ASTREA in the bottom left side of the map. BYUN in the top right. Bad game for ASTREA there. I mean, it was perfect early game. BYUN did a really silly opening. Managed to come back for it. ASTREA made some mistakes. But I definitely... You look at a big map like Neon Violet, big spread of units. You could see he moved away from disruptors at a certain point because he wanted more reliable splash damage. I think Storm would have potentially been a better addition than disruptors, just because we could see the disruptors were struggling to land their hits in the big open concaves in the middle of the map. But also some more prism action in the main, and just that one counter drop for BYUN, getting the double upgrades. I mean, the 3-3 versus 2-2 upgrade advantage was really big. Did you see Euthermal's tweet on balance? No, I didn't. You guys can link that to me after this game. I'll react to it. Ooh, okay, guys. Reaper's dancing around. 2 probes going down already. This is a pretty good start. 3 probes for a Reaper would be great, but he delayed running away. Oh, he still gets out. It's fine. Hellion comes in. Hellion hasn't managed to kill anything due to the battery. You know what, guys? A Reaper and a Hellion for 3 probes. I think ASTREA is okay with that, as is BYUN. It's a bit of a tradey trade. Probes would, of course, mine a lot of money over time. So losing any early workers does hurt a bit more than losing a harassment unit like a Reaper or Hellion. On the other hand, you've gone for a delayed expansion as BYUN, and that is, of course, going to mean you want more damage. This is actually the same opening he did versus me, isn't it? Yeah, he did this in game 1 versus me. So he probably just follows up with a very standard 3 racks. I wonder if he goes Raven in this scenario. Because I think he saw the Twilight, right? No, he didn't see the Twilight. He actually doesn't know what he's playing against right now. So he might skip the Raven. Let's see if he just swaps that starboard over and goes straight for like Stim or something. No, he's still going to go tank Raven. Bit more of a standard follow-up. That does make sense. 2 mine drop coming in. Didn't bring any Marines with the medevac. Sentry is there on top of it. Thinks about attacking the Widow Mine, does ASTREA. ASTREA! Oh, gosh. Cute little high ground mine there. And does get a bit of damage on the medevac at least. And the Stalker's trying to add what they can. Blink is in. Oh! Oh my gosh, he's going to get it to within 1 shot. Oh, he gets it! That's a juicy catch there for ASTREA. He's also got an Adept on the other side. He's lost 5 probes this game, but look at how many Terran units have died. This is great for ASTREA. He's got a third base halfway done. He's in a fantastic position. Now, there is a second tank building, but where is the third barracks? It's not up yet. That third barracks needs to be going down as quickly as possible. Oh, he misclicked the SCV. Hard to click on the correct one when they're all on top of each other like that. Raven Harass could help slow down ASTREA, but ASTREA's going to go 4 gas, Robo. So it looks like he'll go straight Robo Bay and try to get Colossus out. It's going to be hard to get the Colossus out before the Stim move out. But then again, third barracks is so late. I mean, this is a really big commitment by BYUN on the early aggression and hasn't really found that much value yet. I also don't know if you have space to hide that Raven there. Oh, this is a disaster, mate. Oh, that's not high ground, dude. That's not high ground. It's the same level as this. And if you have Stalkers on both sides... Yeah, this map, by the way, Frostline, used to be called Snowpiercer, doesn't have a lot of dead space, guys. There's like these tiny little corners, but not too much else. By the way, just notice that's a dead Overlord on its side over here. Poor Overlord froze to death. That's sad. This is a rough start for BYUN, guys. Very rough start. He's going to be moving out soon. He's going to make shields, then concussive. 2 medevacs should start. 2 medevacs before shields. Ladies and gentlemen, BYUN may have forgotten a key upgrade. If he forgets combat shields, that will hurt. We're going to keep an eye on BYUN right now. He's hitting 100 gas. He realizes. Just waiting for that 100 gas. 4th and 5th barracks is here. Chat says this is the worst map for Terran, right? Probably less angles to get in with your drops and your air harass. Bit more, but I think it's got some really good frontal tank positions. Like if you do get tanks down here, they reach pretty far forward, right? You can put some tanks in some nasty corners. You also could put like tanks there against Zerg. Not going to work so well against Protoss. I think there's a few decent tank spots. But, I mean, that's only really for 2 base tank pushes. Speaking of which, the move out is here. Warp Prism, 4 Zealots coming across the map with a probe. Thankfully, he does not fly that into the enemy. I guess his observer did see the move out. He's got Stalker Zealot here. Where's the Colossus, guys? Did he not build it? Is he? Oh, he's not even gone Robobay. It's just 8-gate Zealot. +1 attack on the way. Whew, this could get nasty. Prism comes in, sees plenty of bio just sitting there and waiting, and the Prism's not even going to unload. No reason to if he's that outnumbered. Oh, first medevac goes down. Great catch here for ASTREA. Stalker Zealot on the front. Guardian Shield goes down pretty early. Zealot drop comes back in on the natural. Okay, so ASTREA does not have splash damage here. Just a double Zealot drop. Gets himself a few mules and SCVs. Does the hold position. But ends up giving up on that and does try to dive. Marines chasing after the Prism. It goes to the corner. No 4th base right now for ASTREA. I think he's going to change expansion pattern and go to the top left, which I actually like. Problem with going to the top left is it does expose your main base to Doom drops. That's where a lot of your production is. And Robobay now finally going down. He's only on 2 gas though. Guys, this is similar to the previous game. ASTREA needs to go 4 gas right now. If he wants to make a Robobay transition, I do think he's going to need more gas, but he's trying to stay on 58 probes. He's kind of like, hey, you're all in. You went 5 racks. I'm just going to limp to double upgrades. I'm not really going to rush it, but he's got to spend his money, guys. He's on 8-gate. There we go. 8 Zealot Swarping. Needs to build more pylons. Needs to keep massing units. SCV pull. It's an all-in. And without splash damage, that's hard to deal with, man. Very hard to deal with this without splash damage. He has a lot of Zealots, though, which will clear the SCVs, but watch for BYUN to hold position the SCVs and actually block without actually taking aggro priority. Zealots are dropping in his main. Units coming in here. ASTREA with a very messy fight. He blocks his own army. He's blocked his own army. His units are all stuck behind each other in that natural. He's trying to stay spread. Oh, but look at this. Bunkers are going to go down. Or engineering bays would actually be huge. BYUN here. Frantic Micro doesn't end up building. If he builds 2 engineering bays there, blocking this off, that would be so hard for ASTREA to engage into. And I think, honestly, BYUN's got him. I think BYUN's going to get a 2-0 turnaround here. Wow, 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 wow. Not many medevacs. The stims are really hard to heal from. Great point from Twitch chat there. A lot of the Zealots charging on top of single SCVs and building bunkers, though. It's so hard to make sure that those Zealots actually do what they're supposed to. The Zealot flank from the south is monumental. Stalkers take out those. Colossus comes forward. If the Stalkers get rid of the Vikings and the Colossus survives, it's great for ASTREA. And it looks like he will just barely hold on. My gosh, that was stressful. Good job buying time. Remember, he sniped a medevac much earlier as well. So BYUN was very low on medevacs with this push. That Colossus there a bit exposed. Does not have an extended thermal lance. Robo's looking a bit exposed, isn't it? Oh, Colossus goes down. Oh my god, is BYUN's gonna win anyway on 18 probes. He says 18 probes is all I need. And he actually GG's on a higher army supply. Thought he might actually be able to crack through. I guess another Colossus was gonna pop out. +2 was on the way. ASTREA was probing in the midst of that like the mad lad he is. And BYUN taps out. ASTREA ties up the series 1-1. All right, guys. BYUN on the right side of the map. 2 workers, 1 gas, 3 on the other. Barracks factory going down. It's a double gas build with no scouting. Who could have guessed? We really got to see some players find a way to start punishing these openings, but it's just tough, man. If they open one base like this, if he's going no scout into 1-Rex expand, I think it's abusable, but he mixes in these double gas builds enough. Always checks around with the Reaper. It's hard to take advantage of. On the other side, ASTREA does appear to have gone Cybercore after Nexus, I think. Yeah, it looks like it. So that's cool. A nice economic build for ASTREA. He's also going Stalker first. Now, normally you go Robo, but he's going to go Stalker Stargate. Very nice. Did he not scout either? Oh, yeah, he's done a gas first, no scout build. Right. So he can afford Stalkers and an Adept and a Stargate, and he can even get Warp Gate without much delay. That's actually a really nice build. So 2 players playing a bit greedy in terms of the no scouting, but ASTREA's much more economic focused. Then adding the tech, whereas the tech is immediately coming out for BYUN, rushing that starport, and of course the 2 Reapers into the Hellion. Good pullback on the probes. Reaper's going for a jumpy jump, but Adept on the high ground, Stalker on the low ground. There's no way out of here, remember, guys. Oh, bad Adept micro, though, from ASTREA. Does at least cancel the shade, but dude, the fact that that Reaper survived on, like, 1 hit point, gets himself 2 extra kills there, looked like a situation where he could maybe have got away with only a single probe going down, but it is what it is. Imagine an Artosis versus Pig chat battle in StarCraft 1 mod for SC2. Think I'd need a lot of chat filters on to be able to cast those games, guys. There's only so many descriptions of Mario's shaft, shall we say? And the level of Peach's hydration that I could handle before getting that video demonetized. Sorry. It's a bit of a tough one, you know? Not sure how Artie even gets away with it, to be fair, half the time. He does like serious videos and his chat's on the screen during them, and you just like, you're reading just people saying the most insane stuff while he's trying to like make a serious point. It's so funny. He's like, and this is why Flash is the greatest player of all time, and these are my arguments in my video essay. And you're like, I could see a guy in chat talking about some sort of like Mario themed erotica. Like, I don't know what we're talking about, man. Oh, that was a good Cyclone drop to the low ground. I thought the Oracle would get in and get out, but ASTREA loses it. Welcome to my world. Every single game, I go for the kills of the Oracle. I always lose it. ASTREA, though, is going to go 2-base Tempest, guys. Now, you might think, why would you play 2-base Tempest? The reason is, if you were thinking these games were too much, like, you know, sweaty, trying too hard, having a micro, instead, you're just hoping your opponent does like a 2-base tank all in and you get a free win with Tempests. Which is kind of cool, right? Unfortunately, 9 times out of 10, when you play against a pro Terran and you do a build like this, you just die. And honestly, I don't see him actually defending. I mean, he's got a Void Ray. He does have a Void Ray coming. The Viking's going to try and land in the main, and when it does that, it's going to spot the second Stargate. Same time, Marines and Cyclone pressuring the front. Adept does clean up the Hellion. Probe sees 5 Marines, Cyclone, and a Medevac. Extra Widowmine did get left behind. Void Ray intercept. Get wrecked, son. And that's huge, because he doesn't see the second Stargate. But he obviously knows something's up. Now, I'm a big fan of the random Void Ray in this matchup. It's what I call a psychological weapon. So basically, this is like marching into Modern Warfare with a shield and sword, and then stamping in front of your opponent and doing some sort of war cry or war dance and being like, yeah, you're scared, bitch. You know, it's the Void Ray is not actually effective at fighting, right? It's like bringing a sword to Modern Warfare. It's bad against everything Terran has. But they get confused when they see it sometimes. They go, whoa, this guy's got balls. Like, you know, why is he building that thing that's bad? Unfortunately, there's no detection. Because the Oracle died, the Banshee is going to fly in and pretty much win the game. He has to cancel a Tempest, make an Oracle. Otherwise, the Banshee's just going to kill 400 probes. Should go towards the main base. These probes on the bottom side need to pull towards the battery. ASTREA needs to pull those away. He's not reacting. Tempests are here looking for the siege push. She's pretty effective on this map. He does have an Oracle building. Should run the probes away from the Banshees over to his natural. Now, Tempests are a very low damage unit that shoots slowly over time. So over time, they'll be able to eventually get out there and do some stuff, but it's going to take them a while to work. And that's why this damage coming in is such a big problem. Not only that, BYUN's already dropping Marines on the outside, looking to try and intercept these Tempests potentially. SCV's trying to mine open the gold minerals. Medevac will go down, and once the Medevac's gone, the Tempest can pick off these Marines pretty darn well. One problem they have is because they're not hit scan, they do overkill pretty badly, and that Carrier, or Tempest I should say, sorry, and Void Ray both go down to unupgraded Marines. The Banshees are just distracting him far too much. I think he used energy recharge on this battery so that it could keep on defending that. Oracle comes down and revelates the Banshee, but the Banshee's already out of mana. And this is going to be a big problem, man. Already losing a Tempest and a Void Ray. That early Oracle going down is, of course, why the problems are so pronounced. He's also on 5 gateways, so ASTREA was planning to do a heavy Adept Tempest timing, where he goes with Guardian Shield, a bunch of Adepts. This is a build Classic beat Maru with on Cyber Forest in 2018. Very cool build order. I like to look at it because I always think like that's the most tilted I saw Maru until he lost the World Championship to Oliveira. And he didn't really look that tilted. He just looked like Maru. Very little show of emotion. He was kind of like, nah, Protoss. But it was, I think, one of the craziest builds we ever saw at the time. And cool to see ASTREA bringing back an oldie. Unfortunately for him, not finding enough damage for it to be worth it. 2 more Vikings come over. Cyclone gets a lock on. Tempest goes down. And that is a huge problem. Trying to get the anti-building damage upgrade. He's got that now. Plus 40 damage to buildings. He's got a sentry, a few stalkers. He's got a gateway building on the front, which I guess thankfully BYUN hasn't seen. But if he does, he could deal with pretty darn well. Stalkers find these unupgraded Marines. They've got +1, I should say, actually. A couple of Adepts and Stalkers will chase those down. Oracle gets caught on that side. Ah, no stasis traps either now. It's a big problem. BYUN's massively ahead. He's up 11 workers right now. I think he's in a good spot. It looks like he's going to clean up ASTREA. I like that ASTREA is trying something different, but he knows too many things have gone wrong. And that Oracle dying is where it all started. Whenever you're dealing with the old Cyclone guys, and I'm pretty sure they're hosting the mod, I imagine they are, it's all about keeping that first Oracle alive. You do not want to lose it. You do not ever want to risk losing it. I say as my computer is lagging like crazy. All right, so here's the Oracle guys. Comes in, he's like, hey, you're going to go Cyclone. Oh, you know what? It's not out yet. I can kill 1 or 2 SCVs and then run away. But he actually goes for 2 Marines and then tries to run. And that Medevac boosting the Cyclone down here really is what secured the game for BYUN. Beautiful play. And he's like, ooh, I just killed your detection. I can go Banshee now. He might have been planning to do it. He might not have. But after killing the only detection and scout, he says, definitely, I'm going Cloaked Banshee now. Great play for BYUN.